in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Green Bay Packers and the Cleveland Browns. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. This defense for the Packers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Willis. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
To throw on 3rd down. Hutton. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. The Browns send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. This is brought in at the 21. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 33 and a first. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And Watson has it right side. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Charles, that's a route that you and I have seen time and time again in our years up in this booth. And that executed well and a great throw, too.
And sometimes, even if you know it's coming, the execution will trump whatever you do on the defensive side of the ball. Plus, it was a well-thrown football. A nice, healthy gain right there.
On second down, Huntley. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. First and goal from just inside the 5. They go again with Huntley. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers.
Makes the score Packers 7, Browns 9.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. A good start to the drive. That's caught out on the left side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off-play action. Hutton. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Willis. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that and all Week 2 games as we go along. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it here with Huntley. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Brandon, you know I'm all about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it, I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the first down, kept fighting for yards, and was willing to embrace some contact to keep the play moving.
On first down, Hall. And this one is incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Throwing to start the drive. Hutton. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Up the middle they go. It's Willis. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The previous run good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Willis, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Hutton.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr.
And he's got some space here. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
That was one I kind of saw coming, Charles. He had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means the free safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners, and they divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder.
And it's a Packers touchdown.
Romeo Doubs.
His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like make...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
It certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
To throw it is Hall on 1st and 10. And his throw here is incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit if they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Hall.
Got his man. It's Bo Melton. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. A nice throw right there. And Charles, this is game number 2 in the NFL for this young rookie. His guys getting the victory last week. And he played pretty well by most accounts. Curious, what did you see?
I saw something.
Touchdown! A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Packers are able to add on to their first half lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he comes back with one complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off play action. Hutton. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That ball was tipped in the air and ball ultimately fell incomplete. It caused a few anxious moments for the guy slinging it, who's had quite a day. He knows how to get it into the end zone. He's throwing it really, really well. And maybe Lady Luck is on his side because he avoided his first interception of the contest.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Packers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already, they're certainly hoping that he can turn things around and quickly.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Hall to throw on 2nd down.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's Hall on first down. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. This is caught inside the 15. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Operating from the gun, Hall. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. A run with Huntley. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 111 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Second down. Here's an option right. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Off the play fake. Hall. And that is incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Hall completed out left to Dobbs. And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
They give it off here to the tight end. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Second down and 8. Looking to throw. Hall. And that'll be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Hall.
To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done.
A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10.
Off-play action. Hall. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now Huntley.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10.
118 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired, while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there.
His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers are on their way to a 2-0 start. So another touchdown for him on the year now, Charles. He had 2 in the opener last week and hits pay dirt for a 3rd time here.
And with good health, he's got a really good chance to be up there among the leaders in touchdowns scored when this season comes to an end. Quick question, partner. Is it bad luck to toast him with a sports drink?
Not at all, partner. I think that's a fantastic idea. Cheers.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one's pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game.
And, my goodness, another interception.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Sideline throw caught by Dobbs.
And it's a Packers touchdown.
Romeo Dobbs with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
York on now for the extra point.
And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Operating from the gun, Hall. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. He's got a man, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. On the run, it's Huntley.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Ball has it knocked loose.
And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
him. No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
162 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
On 1st and 10, Hutton. Looking left side, he's got it, complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Throwing on 1st down. Hutton. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Rashawn Gary. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Willis. And some room to work. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead is down to 24.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This pass complete to Melton.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest.
Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Hall now, off play action. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And he goes out right around the 39. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Throwing to start the drive. Hutton. And now here's another interception.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing. Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
That one looks like he'll throw here, and this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. An extra point attempt to follow here. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On third down, it's Willis. And some room to roam now. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Now, you talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that is demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out, coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I'll bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now Hall, throwing to start the drive.
They'll get this into the hands of Huntley.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Green Bay, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife